Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast. We have a very special guest for you today. He's a tech innovator, an industry thought leader, an AI pioneer. Please help me welcome back to the show, Josh Friend, CEO and founder of Insellerate. Josh, it's great to have you back.
Michael, always good to be here.
You guys are doing a number of incredible things in AI. There's a lot of people that are talking theory and things that are going on, but you guys are delivering real world results, real ROI. So give me a kind of a quick state of the industry where you think things are at as it relates to AI.
That's a really good question, a good way to start. I think, everyone's been talking about AI for a long time. And you can see the stats out there. They say it's something like 95% of all the AI projects that go on don't make any money or aren't actually turning out to be something that's viable. And it leaves only like 5%, let's say, of AI that is, really becoming viable. And, I find myself in that situation in the sense of I probably have 15 or 20 different AI little tools I've signed up for. I have one I use all the time, and the rest of them I just have to remember to cancel the subscriptions because they look neat, they look cool, like it's kind of neat. But, what we're seeing is AI is really, it's not about selling software, it's about selling work.
Right.
And really highly efficient work. And that's really what we're looking at AI for. So either whether, for us, AI, and in the industry, real work right now could be, if you're in the back office, it could be looking at tax returns, right? It could be doing document writing. Not that we do that, but I'm just saying a great example of that's work. You currently pay someone to review a tax return. There's AI programs that can do that for you now. And they can do it for faster, cheaper, right? They don't quit. So you're selling real work. Some of these other AI esoteric thoughts of AI may not have come to fruition, but where we've seen AI, where we're selling work right now is two ways. One is Aithena. So Aithena is our AI platform that does real work. Does call reviews, does call coaching, and does live call handling. Those are all things that you guys do currently, real work that's being done, right? So Aithena listening to calls, actually reviewing calls and scoring leads, finding out where your sales team's having issues on the phone, top objections, coaching tips, bringing you right to the point of actually doing, the job of if you ran a call center. A lot of people know, and you probably know, Michael, I ran call centers for many years.
Yep.
Right. That's my background. I come from the call center space. I've trained thousands of loan officers. I've spent tens of millions of dollars marketing mortgages to answer phone calls. And one of the things that we would do is we'd listen to call reviews. And let me tell you something, it's really tedious. It was one of the most least fun thing to do because you have to listen to a 25-minute conversation and it's slow and it's boring. And people are talking about their cat or their dog or, they want to paint their house or where they work. And, if you're the loan officer, that's important. But if you're a sales manager or manager trying to figure out what's going on the sales floor, you got to listen to 20 minutes of a call and you might find somewhere in that 20 minutes, somewhere minute 19, minute 17, where the person says, I think I'm going to shop around. It takes a lot of work to get to where someone's actually not buying from you, or where your loan officer may miss a sales point. They may not know what to say. They may say the wrong thing. It takes a lot of listening to get to that point. So Athena's training, it's really, that's showing you, we're taking to the spot where instead of listening to 20 minutes of the phone call, it could take you right to the play. Right to the point, minute 17, here's the call, here's the objection, here's what the loan officer said, here's what the customer said, and you can listen to it. So now all of a sudden, it's like it becomes much easier to call reviews, right? So it's selling really intelligent work.
Well, and I think the other key, like you said, hey, that 20 minutes, it gets kind of boring. If you're a sales manager, you're only listening to a fraction of all the calls that are taking place.
That's right.
I mean, what did you cherry pick? 20 calls, 30 calls for the whole month, maybe. That's right. But Athena can listen to 100% of all the calls.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're not only getting better insights from that one specific call and it's pulling it out for the manager, but it's going through all of them.
That's right. It's getting coverage of everything. So what we're finding is that 20 minutes that you would sit there and go listen to them. I manage loan officers and sales managers, and I have the sales managers do call reviews. And part of the reason why I have a hard time making sure the sales managers do the call reviews is it's laborious. Like sitting there for 20 minutes to listen to one call, it seemed like it's a lot of labor for just a little bit of outcome. Now all of a sudden, if you have the objection handling report, I can go in there and Athena says, here's these 10 calls you need to listen to, and here's exactly what you need to listen to. So that can take me 20 minutes. I can go through 10 calls, get 10 coachable moments in 20 minutes versus 20 minutes of wishing I was doing something else, right? And that's what happens. And so you get a lot more buy-in by actually covering everything versus just covering just a little specific part of the call.
I think the other part that you mentioned that I think is fascinating, it's not talked about enough, is the ability then, because you guys have listened to so many calls, you're now picking up on those buying signals. You're picking up on borrower intent. You understand what those signals are so that you can start predicting outcomes and start really changing the narrative of, here's the 20 people you should talk to, and don't waste your time talking to those 30. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, sales psychology, and a lot of people, in a lot of areas will say this, that you typically, the average salesperson only gets about 1/3 of the business that they have the opportunity to get.
Wow.
And, I used to do this. We would run calls and we would look at loans, we look at leads, and we would go and actually look at title reports after the fact and figure out, let's say we talked to 10,000 customers this month, and let's say we closed 1,000 of them. We'd go and look and go, oh, wow, another 2,000 was closed loans somewhere else. So you're not getting all your business. That's just a reality. And you should do that. And there's ways to do that, to actually run reports like that. We can help you for one of our customers. We do that for our customers. But so if you think about, there's a lot of missed opportunities out there. I mean, I used to get, we used to say every once in a while, a call would come to a sales manager or something saying, I've been trying to get a hold of Michael for the last 3 days to send my paperwork in because I want to get that loan, but is he on vacation? Right. And there's people trying to buy from you and you don't even realize they're in your database. So what Athena is able to do is listen to the calls and actually give a deal possibility score. And this deal possibility score has become very, very, very accurate. What we're finding is if we score a lead an 8 or a 9, there's about a 50-50 chance they're going to get a loan from you or someone else within the next 60 days.
Wow.
Versus if I score a lead a 1 to 4, there's about a 2% chance they're going to get a loan with you or someone else in the next 60 days. So actually, these are people that are going to buy from you or from someone else. Here's the actual business. So now, especially right now, rates are dropping, right?
Right.
And so some people are in the money right now, and some people still quite aren't in the money. But call volume goes, especially for your servicer, call volumes go up. People are calling. I heard rates have dropped. What am I got? Well, you're still at a 4%. I can't help you. Oh, you're at a 6.5%. I can't help you. So now, how do you weed out of those thousands of calls? Which ones of those people actually had opportunities to get a new mortgage? So Athena actually scores leads. And again, we listened to over 1 million conversations. So we actually know who's going to buy and who's not going to buy. We've been doing this for over 2 years. So that's the other thing, this isn't new to us.
Right.
Right. We've launched, actually, it's over 2 years we've been doing this for now. So we have a huge amount of data. So now we can say, hey, I'm covering all your calls. Here's all the people you should really follow up with. And we're finding huge ROI on that. There's tons of missed opportunity. If you think your salespeople are following up with all the deals that they can close, there's just no way. I mean, I'm a salesperson, and I know I miss at times deals that I should be following up with because I forget about them. I don't remember who was going to buy from me. Now you can actually have a score that says, listen, these people are the people that are going to buy. And how can you go make use of that? And people are really having huge success with that right now.
Well, and I think what it's bringing is intelligence to that whole sales process, right? It's saying, these are the ones you should follow up on. These aren't going to do anything for a while. Don't waste your time on it right now. You can put that in a lead nurturing. You can put that in something else. And when you start picking up on those buying signals and do it strategically, your sales reps are so much more efficient. And so happy. Much more productive, and they're happy because they walk in, they know what to do, who to call. I mean, how many sales reps would love to say, when I get in the morning, this is already queued up and telling me, here's the 15, 20 people you need to get a hold of today. And the chance of you closing them or them closing a loan in the next 60 days is 50%, is 80%, that's huge.
Yeah, because think about it, if you go in, if you're a salesperson, I mean, listen, sales is an emotional game. There's just no question about it. Yep. You have to be able to feel confident, excited. You have to feel like there's business and opportunity out there. Because if you don't, you're not going to get all the business you're going to get. So if I'm a salesperson and I have 100 leads I have to follow up on, let's say there's 100 people, and your manager says, follow up with all your leads. And I pick up the phone, and I start calling, and the first 25 people basically tell me, go pound sand. Didn't you tell me I'm already at a 4% interest rate? I have a hole in the roof. I just filed bankruptcy. All of a sudden, my motivation to want to continue to call to cover all those 100 leads goes really, really
Way
down.
down. Yep.
And so then my emotions go down. So the next time someone says, oh, I'm already working with another lender, instead of me having like some confidence, well, listen, I want to work with you. I'm the best lender out there. I can help you. I go, okay, you're working with another lender. Okay, goodbye. And my mind is, this is another no, another no, another no. Now you flip that to, now I pick up the phone and I don't call all 100, I call 30. And those 30 of them, 15 are buying loans. All of a sudden now my conversation's better. Oh, you are in the money. I can help you. You do have an interest rate that makes sense. You do have credit card debt. You don't have a hole in the roof. You do qualify for a mortgage. All of a sudden my confidence level goes up. So now I'm willing to try to say, when someone says I'm working with a lender, I can say, oh, don't worry about it. We're the best lender out there. We're going to help you this way. I'm going to help you that way. I'll be here, because I haven't been told no 50 times in a row.
That's
Right? I
right.
have some confidence. I feel better about it. And all of a sudden, not only do you close more loans because you're talking to the right people, you close more loans because your salespeople are happier and have more confidence, and their enthusiasm and their emotional side is much higher.
Josh, great insights there. And for those of you who want proof in the pudding and to see how AI is actually making an impact today, you definitely need to talk to Josh and see what Aithena is doing. It is extremely powerful. I've had the wonderful opportunity to see it, and it's a game changer. Josh, one of the other things that you talk about when we talk about AI, it's not just software that you're selling. It's AI and understanding AI as a platform and the impact it can have across an organization. And you've talked quite a bit about tools like Replit and low coding or no coding and vibe coding. Talk to me a little bit about that so our listeners kind of understand what that is first. And then let's talk about what you guys have done to really help bring that to the finish line.
Yeah, so a great analogy is, let's just think about, if everyone here is, I'm sure has used ChatGPT to help them craft an email or write an article or create some document or do some kind of level of work for them. Again, AI's work. It's a sophisticated work.
Yep.
So these low code Replit type systems, they're AI, what we call full stack programmers, meaning they know how to program UI for a website. They know how to program a database. But it's the same as, in theory, as using ChatGPT to say, hey, can you create me an itinerary for my trip for next month when I'm going to Italy? And it goes and creates an outline, does all the work for you. It researches, creates a document, does the write-up for you. So you have AI now that actually can write code. Really, really write code. Salesforce, a lot of people know Salesforce. Over half their code is written by AI. Right now, over half of our current new code is written by AI as well.
Wow.
Meaning, instead of having a human say, hey, instead of telling my team, go build this new tool, instead of having humans hand coding, the AI actually writes the code for you. And it writes it very quickly, very fast, hyper efficient. So now the amount of code we can get out, we're producing 10 times the amount of software as I was 8 months ago. It's
Wow.
unbelievable what we can create. So there's these tools out there that will create really, really high end, I'm not going to say 100% fully baked applications.
Right.
They're like 80%. I saw this great analogy of vibe coding the other day, and someone had it was like a train set, and it was, and they had this cargo on the train set, and some of the tracks were broken and turned, but the train kept going around the track because it would fall off the track, connect back to the track, go around the track, get back on the track. And it was really, this is what just vibe coding by itself is. It's doing the work you want to do, but it's not quite 100% there. That's where teams like us and where we create our app enablement hub. So we are actually using AI right now, not only to create AI products like Aithena that can call your customers, or score your customers, train loan officers, but actually if it's a new website that someone wants, or a new plugin they need, or our loan presentation tool, or our pre-approval letter, we're actually using AI to build faster. And so we built an app enablement hub, which takes all that last 20% of work. So if you're going to build, something with AI, like a tool, you're then going to have to stand up a database. You're going to have to train on how to use APIs. You're going to have to create authentication, security, redundancy, scalability, all these backends, so that's actually a fully baked product.
Right.
We built a complete app enablement hub where tools like Replit and Grok are actually plugged right in there. So you can build these proof of concept tools and basically go from a concept to a working product in days. It's unbelievable how much faster you're able to actually build. So whether or not the end tool is AI, you're building with AI. So, I
Right.
look at it as, it's not just about building like let's say if you're in, robotics, here's a great analogy I used recently, which is, you know, it's not that, hey, I want to make money in robotics and AI, I need to go build robots. I could be a home builder and say, I'm going to make money in AI and robots. And the way I'm going to make money with AI and robots is I'm going to have robots build my homes. So my homes build faster, cheaper, quicker, and I can sell it and make more money than everyone else. The home doesn't have to be AI.
Right.
It doesn't have to
Right.
be a robot, but I build with robots. That's how I win. So we're actually building with tools at Insellerate that we're leading the market when we actually have something called an MCP server, which we have over 1,200 APIs. So we've trained AI, or not all 1,200. We're probably 500 or 600 APIs in there have been trained. We'll have all 1,200 done within the next, let's say, 3 or 4 months, where you could literally soon you'll be able to use ChatGPT if you wanted to and interact with my platform and say, go do this for me, or go pull this information, or go run this command. And because we have something called MCP server, which actually tells AI how the APIs work, AI can just go right in there and do the work for it. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm a technologist.
Yep.
I've been in technology my whole entire life. To actually see this stuff work now just gives me chills sometimes. Like I just can't believe what it's like now.
And I think the other important point that people have to realize then is you don't have to be a coder to create a lot of this stuff. So now we're putting more power into the users, into the business cases. So the business executive who is
Right.
going to ICE Experience and their head of production or their head of lending, and they're like, man, this is a bottleneck in our production. They could now vibe code, get it 70, 80% there, and then use something like your app enablement hub to do that last couple miles so that now they have a working app at a fraction of the time and the cost of it would normally take in a development cycle.
Yeah, and I think you just hit the nail on the head, which is it is actually the advantage is to the actual business users, the ones who can describe the problem and describe what they want. So what the typical process has been in developing software, you're an executive and you say, I need a new dashboard, I need a new tool. You bring in a product manager, you bring some people in, they try to explain, you tell them what you kind of want, you're explaining all this information, and then you have someone who starts writing all these requirements down, right?
Mhm.
Oh, they want this, they want that, they want this, they want that. And then a few weeks later, they come back and they give you like a wireframe. Here's a screen. Does this kind of look like what you want? And you look at the screen and you go, yeah, that's kind of what I want. But I really wish it was like this or that. And that description back and forth, it's a lot of work. So they go, okay, so they dick in a few more passes at it and they go, okay, let me go build it. And you kind of want more, but to ask for more, it's 2 weeks every time you ask for one thing. So it's like you can't just keep asking for more. You have to just like, go, okay, go build it. They go build it, bring you something back 60 days later, a working prototype, and you're like, yeah, that's it. But gosh, dang man, I want the button over here and forgot to do this, forgot to do that. But because time's of the essence, you have to just go, let's just build it. Because I don't have time. I can't delay this another 96 months. It's going to take me 2 years to get to where I want to be. Now vibe coding, you're literally able to tell AI, I want this, 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 and in 5 minutes, it shows you on the screen. You play with it, go, oh no, I want it to look like this. You're able to take that, 6 weeks, 6 months of back and forth to like, 60 minutes. And then you have exactly what you want, a working prototype. You can use it and play with it and say, that's exactly what I want. And then if you're working with someone like us in our app enablement hub, then our team takes it, does a QA, does the last mile, if you will, making sure it doesn't come off the tracks. And then you're leveraging our authentication, our API access to Encompass, to your phone system, to your data warehouses. We have all that already all built. And then now all of a sudden you go from some 6-month project to like a 6-week or less project, and you have an actual working app. And what's also nice about it is because we can do this so much faster, we can charge that much less now.
Right.
Our tools are cheaper because now I don't have to spend $250,000 to build this for you. I can spend $20,000 to build this for you. So it's and actually it's easier to maintain as well. So all the maintenance costs, everything's coming down. So it is pretty wild right now what's happening in the software industry.
You guys are doing some incredible things, and I love how you're trying to educate the industry, bring other people along. You guys have been pioneering AI. Josh, if people want to see you guys out and about, if they want to see Aithena in action, if they want to see how, the App Enablement Hub works, what are some of the upcoming conferences you guys will be at?
Yeah, so we're going to be at the INB. Our team will be there. That's in a few weeks if you want to meet up with us there. But also, for all those people who are going to go to the ICE show, LMA ICE show, we're going to actually have an AI Innovations Lab. And we'll be sending out some invites for that. And we're going to have a couple a day. And we're going to invite executives to come in and sit with some of our AI experts and actually work and prototype some of these AI solutions. So, we're going to pick someone and say, hey, what's something you guys want to build? And we'll show someone how you can rapidly go from an idea to a prototype within, a half hour, 45-minute setting, and show you how to use these tools. Because it's not, we want to train people. It's, we can educate. We've educated a lot of people how to use Replit, how to use other tools, how to write prompts, what you should ask for, what database design you should ask for. There's a lot of knowledge that goes into it. So if you want to reach out to us, also come to the website, ask us for a demo, meet with our team. We'd be more than happy to show you. But be looking out for those invitations to the iShow. And if you are going and you haven't got an invitation, reach out to us. You can email me. I'll make sure it gets to the team. I'm just josh@insellerate.com. Tell me you want to go to be invited to the AI Lab, Innovations Lab, and I'll make sure the team puts you on the list. And that is going to be a really great way to learn and see some of these tools in action. And you'll be able to go back home and make use of what you learn right then.
Josh, I love it because you guys aren't selling. You're not trying to shove a product down somebody's throat. You're trying to educate. And these are business users that should come to the Innovation Lab,
who we want,
talk about what they're doing in their organization. And you guys are going to show them how to do that in less than an hour. You guys are going to be building these prototypes. So guys, make sure you check out what Insellerate's doing. Aithena is really leading the industry in how they're handling calls, what they're doing, how they're training loan officers. And it's that intentionality, it's that predictability. And then the App Enablement Hub, make sure you see them at ICE. Josh, I can't thank you enough. You're always full of great insights. Thank you for being a guest on this episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast.
Thanks, Michael.